Hi, Chris. It is the hurry up and wait game here at 30th Street Station.
Right now, we know one man is dead, 2 others are hurt after this triple shooting. And as I step aside, you can see Philadelphia police focusing their investigation on this white SUV. Hi, Don. We just got here a couple of minutes ago. We have been all over the city today, and right now they are at a standstill with some demonstrators. Behind me, you can see Philadelphia police officers dressed in riot gear. They are holding shields and bats. Why are you stealing from your neighbors right here? This is a big corporation. That's a small business. In my hand, I have a program for Billy Graham's funeral services. It starts today at noon, and behind me you can see people already taking their seat. Crews are starting to demolish what's left of this strip mall. We pulled out Skyfox drones so you can see the remaining rubble after the roof caved in. The Cherry Hill fire chief says it started in the middle and spread. 6 businesses now forced to find a new home. We're about 60 miles inland from the coast, and right now the town of Florence, South Carolina is under a tropical storm warning. You can feel it in the air. This is more than just a breeze rolling through downtown. Something is different and something is building.
Lauren Dugan was the first reporter to break this story.
Don't you think it's irresponsible that one person was overseeing this fund and what could be done with the money?
These scraps are what's left after winds picked up 7,000 pounds of metal, throwing it across the road.
Conditions on the road are getting worse, and if you take a look at all the branches behind me, this is one of the reasons why.
Firefighters say that one of the challenges in fighting this fire was all the tight spaces, so they actually brought in foam to get in some of those cracks. Now, watching firefighters do what they do best, for several kids on a baseball team, they tell me they were just starting practice and ran out when they saw heavy smoke coming in.
There you go.
I got it. That's the best I can do.
His Christmas lights collection is huge and has been nationally recognized, but now he is holding off on hosting duties, and wait for it, he's pulling the plug.
All of a sudden, I realize the door is closed. We are stuck here in 8 degrees, and I am panicking, like, how are we going to get out? Greg, who is our photojournalist behind the camera, thankfully just kicked the door open and we were able to walk out. But I was a little panicked for a second.
Sure, he's a superhero. Where are you? I'm in the Manna freezer right now. It's 8 degrees.
Please hurry.
Please hurry.
I actually didn't know what a gravedigger was, so funny story about my sweater here. I got a mysterious package at work one day. It just said, to Lauren Dugan, didn't have a from. I open it up and this sweater says gravedigger. I thought that this was a death threat, but actually the gravedigger is the most legendary monster truck.
That's the funniest death threat story that I've ever heard in my life.
I thought it was a death threat.
And you mentioned this earlier, Paige. You said it's a total Dukes moment.
Right?
It is. It's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
What'd you guys think about my writing? Did I improve?
Even with the helmet off, your hair still looks fabulous.
There you go. Yeah, she did so well. The guy says, she goes, how do you think I did? You did great. We have classes for people like you.
A small group of looters slip under a metal gate of a cell phone store on North Broad Street. Police weren't there, but our cameras were. Why are you stealing from your neighbors right here? This is a big corporation. That's a small business.
Ugliest little kid.
Empty shoe boxes cover Germantown Avenue after a day of destruction. Ransacking small businesses started overnight Saturday and never stopped, continuing all day Sunday across the city.
This is no longer about George Floyd or the protests. This is a destructive mode.
John Dyerell's business was also busted and broken into as looters tore out his computers. Lingering onlookers threw water bottles at us while we spoke. You guys focus on stopping the violence, so when you see your door shattered and people throwing water bottles at your place of business, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like, this is, well, not like our work is in vain. Because our insurance company is going to pay for this, and we're going to move forward. But it makes us feel unappreciated. In this neighborhood, most folks know us.
From north to west Philly, police stood guard of some stores in riot gear. Near Kensington and Port Richmond, looters grabbed whatever they could, some even tackling each other over stolen goods.
This could have been in a different way. Like all the tearing up the stores they did, like looting and burning everything, how is that going to affect us next week?
And that young man that I spoke with in Kensington after he watched so much looting in his neighborhood of not just big corporations but mom and pop shops, he told me he doesn't know where he's going to get his groceries tomorrow, just with all the destruction going on in his neighborhood. A lot of people hurt and confused today. I also want to point out that neighbors are still here guarding the doors of the Target in South Philly, and if you look beyond them, there are shopping carts that are also kind of pressed up, barricading the doors. These people obviously don't want to see some of the shops that they go to every day looted, and that is just what a lot of people, I think, want across this city right now after all the destruction we have seen today.
Workers forced out, businesses forced to close, but all is not lost. Our Lauren Dugan is live in Cherry Hill, where neighboring businesses are stepping up to help. Lauren.
Yeah, Chris, a case of cookies might be the only thing still intact after this massive fire at the Cherry Hill Strip Mall. Now, obviously, customers cannot get back there. There's a fence around the structure, and it is not safe. So a neighboring deli is now sharing their space, knowing what it's like to watch your business burn down. The Short Hills Deli is making room for a new neighbor, sharing their counter space with Classic Cake, whose shop on Evesham Road burned down in the Cherry Hill Strip Mall fire.
I was sick of my stomach. I don't need that anymore. You know, I don't want to see anybody have a fire.
Owner Jerry Kaplan says Friday's flames were a familiar sight. His deli rebuilt after 2 fires. Now he's helping Classic Cake start fresh, housing a case of cakes in his deli. They pulled one out Monday for his 81st birthday.
Why not do something nice? If I had the room, I did it. This way he won't go out of business.
He deserves more than just one cake today. He really deserves a whole case full from us today. We're very grateful.
Lori Goldsmith works at Classic Cake. She is thankful her co-workers escaped the burning building. Investigators say there was electric work being done. When the lights came on, the fire started.
For me, it was the flood of memories, and I actually came by here last night thinking that maybe it would be knocked down soon, and I needed to kind of just say my own little private goodbye.
Crews are starting to demolish what's left of this strip mall. We pulled out Skyfox drones so you can see the remaining rubble after the roof caved in. The Cherry Hill fire chief says it started in the middle and spread. 6 businesses now forced to find a new home.
It was just friends and family taking care of friends and family. The deli's customers are our customers are their customers, and it couldn't be a better match.
Cookies still sit inside the remains of the bakery. Kaplan says the Cherry Hill community needs to come together as local businesses pick up the pieces.
This is a win-win for him, as far as I'm concerned.
The Cherry Hill fire chief tells me that today investigators are going through inspection records and the rubble, trying to determine if the electric work had something to do with this fire. Shayna.
Lauren Dugan live in Cherry Hill for us. Thank you, Lauren.
This is what the American spirit is all about. A company forced to close, employees out of work. But in this time of need, they are springing into action, reopening today. And instead of making shutters, they'll be making shields. Reopening with a new purpose. A window shutter company in Montgomery County is changing what they make. Instead of wood shutters for historic homes, they'll be assembling plexiglass face shields for doctors on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We have a lot of the capabilities from a machining standpoint, and we certainly have a whole team of people that are used to assembling things, right? So from a transferability standpoint, it makes sense, right? We just have to learn the nuances very quickly.
Timberlane founder Rick Skidmore says last week the company was forced to close by Governor Wolf's order to shut down non-essential business. Skidmore was worried about his employees.
So the first thing that went through my head is, how are these people going to pay their bills? I mean, how are they going to put food on the table, take care of their families?
They soon realized people don't need window treatments, they need protection.
Unanimously, we can absolutely do this.
The state of Pennsylvania has now cleared them as an essential business to make shields for doctors like this model Skidmore pulls on.
We literally just assembled these about an hour ago.
He says ICU beds across the country will also be needing these aerosol boxes.
This box actually goes over the head of the patient, and it allows the physician or whoever's treating the patient to access it this way. And this shield protects the clinician from any type of infectious spray.
The Department of Defense has already placed a 1 million-piece order.
Time is really not our friend in this, right? The frontline medical community needs them now. They don't need them a month from now.
The craftsmen say they're up for the challenge.
At such a strange and odd time when everybody's so scared, it is kind of creating a little shimmer of hope, right? And we also see this as a possible life preserver to help us sustain through these tough times.
Lauren Dugan joining us live in Haddon Heights, Camden County. Fill us in, Lauren.
Hi, Don. This was a friendly intruder. In fact, he's become something of a town mascot here in Haddon Heights. But the other night, he made quite the ruckus on someone's roof.
We were all just hanging out in this room, and we heard the loudest noise ever.
Up on the housetop, click, click, click.
We thought that we lost like a wall to our house or something ran into our house.
Corey Moore says her husband ran outside expecting to see damage or an intruder.
He came in and he said, "You are not going to believe this, but there is a turkey on our roof."
Turns out it was Glenn, the Haddon Heights turkey.
And the turkey fly off to our roof.
Glenn is the talk of the town.
We're looking for Glenn.
Oh, Glenn? Well, he used to hang up on Prospect, but right now he's probably, you gotta go up to the strip stores over there.
We left the door open, he walked right into my store.
Marissa Tracy says he's been a regular at her pizza place since Thanksgiving.
He could be somewhere, anywhere around here right now.
So we went on a little turkey hunt.
I found Glenn.
I was all choked up after we found him in another neighbor's front yard. Folks say he's a pretty brazen bird.
You can't intimidate him. You could drive your car right next to him and he looks at you.
But many are happy he's moved into Haddon Heights.
We like having him around.
And we are happy to report Glenn made it through the holidays, surviving Turkey Day and now the new year. Whatever roof he is sleeping on tonight, we wish him the best in 2020.